Chapter 7. Addison. "Mom, who was that for?" asked Aaron after watching me order a dozen wings to go. "We're going to stop by the hospital to say hi to your father and bring him dinner. He loves boneless wings from this place." "Oh, good. I haven't seen him in 2 days. He started his shift right before you got home from school, and then was still asleep when you left this morning. I know this run of shifts is difficult to get time in with him." "Yeah, I just want to hang out and throw a ball or something, you know?" "I do, Aaron. I've been dealing with his schedule for years and years. It makes me really try to be present when I'm with him, to make every moment count." We left the restaurant and drove the short distance to the hospital. I was not a doctor, but I parked in the physician parking lot anyway. My car had an employee sticker, and I was here for a doctor. Who's going to say anything about it? We walked in the front entrance and waited off to the side while the triage nurse checked in a patient at the counter. Once she had finished, I approached the desk. "Hi, I'm Dr. Turner's wife. We brought him dinner," I said, while holding up the plastic bag. "Can you buzz us back?" She smiled back at me and nodded. "Of course, right this way." She stood and walked around the counter, leading us to the automatic door that led to the back of the emergency department. "I'd offer to just bring it to them, but I can't promise they'd all still be there," she added with a laugh. She pulled her ID card out on the retractable lanyard, and the authentication token unlocked the door, which slowly swung inward after a loud, unlocking click. "Nice to meet you," she said. We continued into the hallway and found him sitting at his workstation. Aaron ran ahead and grabbed his dad's shoulders from behind. "Guess who?" he said. Cameron pulled his hands back from the keyboard and grabbed his son's wrists, trapping them over his shoulders. He twirled the chair quickly, which made Aaron jump sideways to avoid being pulled off his feet. "Hey, what are you doing?" he asked. Cameron released his wrists and turned to face his son. "Oh, it's you. Sorry. I thought it was a patient attacking me. Can never be too careful in the ER, you know." I frowned at that comment. "Cameron, don't joke like that. I know you don't believe in jinxes, but it's never a good idea to tempt it." I lifted the bag and set it on the counter next to his computer. "We brought you chicken wings from your favorite place. Boneless, of course. I know you don't like to eat with your hands while in the ER. Dad, when you get home tonight, can we work on baseball a bit? My first game is coming up, and I still need help with pop flies." "Sure thing. I get off at 9, but it's Friday night and should be light until about 10. We can work on it then. Will you have your glove and the bucket of balls out and ready for when I get home?" "Yep," said Aaron, with an excitement in his voice. A nurse rushed up to Cameron holding a pink piece of paper. "Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Turner, but I think this patient is having a heart attack. He's in room 32. She handed him the EKG and waited for him to interpret it. "You're absolutely correct. Nice pickup. I'll be right there. Let's get him ready for the cath lab." The nurse nodded and left as quickly as she arrived, eager to prep the patient for a potentially life-saving procedure. "Sorry, guys. I need to run. Thank you for stopping by and for the dinner." He reached out and hugged Aaron first, then me, before following the nurse down the hall. I watched with pride as he headed toward the patient in need. This is why he went into emergency medicine, to respond swiftly to patients in crisis. I'm glad Aaron was here to witness his dad in action. Cameron. As I approached the room, someone shouted my name from across the hall. "Hey, Dr. Turner, I'm back again. Can't wait to see you, my man." I turned and saw Brandon Crowder, agitated and sitting on the edge of the bed. He had a bag of clothing with him and looked as disheveled as the last visit. "Brandon, I'll be with you in a few. I've got a critical patient to take care of first," I said, walking past the door. "I'm critical too, Doc. My back is killing me. I can't take it much longer." Whatever. He was fine. He was always fine. I ignored his shouts and continued into the room of a patient who truly needed me. That's when I saw how sick he truly was. 50-year-old men shouldn't look as pale as the sheet. Sweat dripped off his forehead, and he held a fist to his chest. "Sir, I'm Dr. Turner. You are having a heart attack, and we need to do several things quickly. We're mobilizing our cath lab, but they're not quite ready. We'll need to work on you for a few minutes in the meantime. We are going to give you several medicines to thin your blood and reduce the severity of this heart attack. How long has this been going on?" The patient wiped sweat from his forehead and looked at me with wide eyes. "About an hour. I had finished mowing the lawn and had moved on to the weed eater when I started feeling nauseous. I broke out in this sweat and then got an intense pressure in my chest. It hasn't let up at all. Am I going to be okay, Doc?" Nurses worked quickly to attach large adhesive pads to the patient's chest. We could use those to deliver an electric charge to shock the heart back into rhythm if necessary. Once in place, a nurse handed the patient 4 baby aspirin and told him to chew them. I opened my mouth to answer his question, but someone else's words filled the room with a scream from the hallway. "Turner, get your butt in here! I am dying!" I shook my head and turned to shut the door. "Sorry about that. He's here all the time. He's doing just fine. You, on the other hand, have a very serious condition. You should do well, assuming they can get the artery open and place a stent to fix the problem." I scanned quickly through his medical record on the computer in the room. High blood pressure, borderline type 2 diabetes, smoker. This needs to be an eye-opener. If you don't lose the weight, stop smoking, and get your blood pressure under control, we're going to keep seeing you back for further heart attacks. You can't change your genetics, but you can change these other risk factors. Is this enough of a smack in the face to convince you to take your health seriously? The patient nodded quickly. "Yes, it is. I swear to you, I'm done smoking." Susan, our secretary, popped the door open and leaned her head in. "The cath lab is ready. They want him down there immediately." The nurses in the room immediately began prepping him for transport. They loaded the IV pole and monitor onto the bed, and then pushed everything through the door. "Congratulations on quitting smoking," I yelled as they wheeled my patient away. The patient responded with a thumbs up as he rolled around the corner.